Hey everybody, this is Galen from the Portland Chess Shop bringing you some chess action, and we're watching some bullet chess. We're going to be trying to follow Grandmaster Indiana Jones, and in this position, his king is in really funky space on f7. Now it's coming forward to e6, so I just thought that even though I missed the beginning, that we should watch this because it's too funny. Look at this king. Another check on the king, and a castle. So it looks like purple has maybe consolidated a little bit. There's 3 pieces against 3 pieces, 7 pawns, 7 pawns. So it's equal, except for that this king is pretty funny. The knight retreats, so it looks like g6 is a key square. The bishop is exchanged. This is a 1-minute game, and they're playing really well, I think. There's a check on the king, and the king moves over. The rook comes forward. The pawn goes up. He makes a pawn break, and now there's exchanges here. Queen's attacked. He moves the queen. Queen comes back. Now the queens are going to be traded. It is still 6 pawns against 6 pawns, so it's actually going to be a technical endgame here. So check and tries to trade the rook. So white thinks that maybe he has the better pawn structure here. I'm not sure. It's 3 against... 2 pawn islands, 3, but 4, and this one's 2. But it looks like this king position is stronger, so I think purple has the advantage in this position. So now this, there's light squared weaknesses, and yeah, black has to give up in this position. It is just a GG situation. He's going to be able to trade this pawn for all 3 of these. So let's follow. Alright, so we're going to follow Snoozer, because Snoozer was the winner. Haha. So... we see some really fast play by Snoozer. This is a King's Indian type setup. There's an exchange here. The knight comes to this square. Purple starts to expand on the queen side. There's they're playing for the center here. This pawn is attacking both squares here. We see the pawns defended, so all the pawns are on light squares. The bishop moves to this square, controlling this long diagonal. The knight comes to the corner. The knight comes forward. The knight's good, so it's exchanged. And now there's an open G file, meaning that there's no pawns on the file. So the knight looks like it's attacking f4, but it's defended by the rook. There's an exchange here and a pawn up. So now white's pawns are on dark squares. They were like all on light squares before, but the ones that were on light squares have been exchanged. The white king does look more vulnerable than the purple king to me in this position. The bishop takes, controlling a lot of squares in this diagonal. The knight takes. He's probably going to have to take back with either the rook or the queen. He does. Here's a check down here, so the king takes, and then the queen is taken. King comes over. This rook takes the open file, so that's basically what he was battling for, I think, was to control this open file. It means that his rook is more active, and that gives him the initiative. Now he's able to attack b3. There's an exchange on b5 and a push, meaning that this pawn is on a dark square. It's stuck there, and so it's on the color that the purple bishop can attack, which is advantageous. Now he's able to trade off the bishops in order to win the pawn. Takes the pawn. This pawn has been pushed. This pawn is a pass pawn, so he gets behind it. He wants to capture the pass pawn. He takes it. And now it's 3 pawns versus 2 pawns. All of this just to get to this position where he's up a pawn. Now we're going to see some sort of Luciana-type position. This is technical. I don't really even know how to totally do this. You need to keep your opponent's king away. You need to be able to advance your pawns, but you can be checked by the rooks. And so it's really complicated. It might be a sort of a draw. They might be playing sort of for time because we'll see if purple can do it. So white forfeits on time. Purple decided it was easier to play for time. Oh, so now he's playing Jakob N. Jakob N is a very strong player at 25-49. I've seen his games against Nakamura before, shoutcasted them in the fall. And so pawn up, bishop retreats. This is a King's Indian type position, or even a I don't know, Benoni or Banco. Anyway, bishop goes here, rook comes over, attacking the file, a knight comes to c5, bishop goes to f3. The pawn plays up to h6. There's the knight goes into c6. There's an exchange. So purple has just won a pawn, but there was going to be a tactic right here. After he takes, he was going to play push, and then the bishop would be attacking the rook, and the knight would be attacked as well. That's why he played the e5 move, well timed, forcing the bishop to retreat. It was basically a tactic. But now a pawn has been won over here, so I think it might be equal on pawns. 6 pawns against 6 pawns. The queen and the rook, a battery. This is called Alekine's gun with rook, queen, rook. It's pretty good. This knight is also very strong, so I do like purple's position. Our Snoozer, the underdog, is playing pretty well, probably playing at his best. The knight comes here, so now it looks like white has won some pawns, which is obviously disadvantageous for purple. But purple has 2 rooks against the knight and the rook, which is good. So I think purple, our champion, has some good chances here. He plays pawn up, and then it takes. This pawn is going forward, but the knight moves, and then he attacks the pawn. And the pawn's going to fall. This is good news for Snoozer. Snoozer has he's only down 2 seconds, and he's playing really well. He has a good position. He's making some wild rook moves, and there are some exchanges. The knight does attack. There are 3 pawns, though. It's going to be tough for the rook to play better than the... Oh my gosh, it might be another position in which it's basically the rook is just trying to avoid the knight and pre-move. He's just trying to pre-move and oh my gosh. They might even get 50 moves without a capture. No, there's a capture, which means that now white is about to queen. White could actually checkmate in this. This is actually really dangerous. Oh my gosh. So these pawns are going up. These grandmasters are playing too fast. Too fast. Wow. We see Snoozer play Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones plays his king up in the opening, and then his king over, and then his king forward. That's how he gets in this position. That is just insane. Why would you do that? The king has to retreat. If bishop check, then f6. He just moves his king over and over and over. That is hilarious. That is why I love bullet chess, is because you can be creative. You can just do ridiculous things. You can, take big gambles, and it's okay. There's all sorts of different strategies that are viable in the game. Unlike in classical chess where, sometimes you have to play, within specific lines of territory in order to play effectively. But in bullet, just coming up with your own thing, doing your best, is all that anyone expects you to do. Anyway, so the queen comes to c2, pawn plays up, and the rook comes over to the file on the same file as the queen. So the queen moves over, and it looks like this rook moved over. This knight retreated. The queen invades. He's in the enemy base. He goes back, pawn up. There's some exchanges. This knight may be coming to potential defense. The rook comes forward. This is a pretty unusual position because of all the king moves. But it doesn't look like purple's really lost yet. He is moving his queen in some funky positions. Could get it trapped potentially. But there's pawn back. I almost think that check. What is going on in this game? It looks like computers are playing each other, right? Bishop goes down. Rook moves over. Queen moves over. Rook takes. There's a little bit of tactic there, right? No, maybe. I don't even know. Bishop goes over. There could be an exchange of bishops. It looks like purple could be in trouble, but he could be fine. I don't know. It's tough to say. It depends on if he's able to win some of these pawns. He is up material. Now purple has definitely won this game. Now he's up a queen against a rook, which is just huge. He's going to just check the king to be really annoying. And, purple runs out of time. So Snoozer has won all of his games so far, I think. Playing pretty fast. All right, we got another game. Let's do it. They are rematching, and that was quite an unusual game right there, because he's doing it again, just doing crazy stuff with his king. Now he retreats it all the way back. He brought it all the way to c4 and back. That is just absolutely ridiculous. How can you do that and still have a safe king? How can you defend in a position like this? His knight comes back. His bishop moves over. I would say that he's using a computer, except for that he's probably actually a grandmaster because it says grandmaster next to his name. So it's fine. And why would a computer move their king like 20 times anyway, right? So the knights come over, and there's going to be exchange on the square. The pawn comes back. There's an open file against the king, but it's not clear how he can immediately exploit it. He's going to be able to defend all the immediate threats. He just plays so fast, but still plays effectively. It's just pretty insane. The bishop comes down. The bishop is on this diagonal, really strong. Queen comes over. Now the knight moves to attack. So now he takes. And there's an intermediate move, a check. The king comes forward. Pawn takes, and now he may take with the pawn. Oh my gosh, he takes with the pawn, using his king to defend the pawn, and just chasing away the queen with his uber powerful king. That is just too funny. But this pawn is really good. Way too good, really. It can become a queen really easily. But he just hangs it. What kind of play is that? He just gave away that pawn. Pawns turn into queens. He needs to know that they turn into queens. Queens are really good, and it's really good to turn your pawns into queens.
A game of chess is like a sword fight. You must think first, right? Before you move.